Straight ahead on your source for news and information in Savannah. The city has a new manager. Rob Hernandez heads north from the Sunshine State to take over the top spot. We'll chat with Council's unanimous pick to lead the Queen City. Could his first business be parking? The results are in on the in-depth study. Now it's time to sort through the details. We have you covered. Lights, camera, action, major changes in the film office, which could create even more economic development. We promise to provide you with customer service, lay out the green carpet, and take a gander through Thomas Square. That and so much more straight ahead on City Span. And welcome to City Span. I'm your host, Ken Slatz. We will fill you in on some exciting events coming up, all tied to the WW Law Collection. That's one of many stories this month on your source for news and information in and around the city of Savannah. No news, however, bigger than the announcement of our new full-time city leader.
It is unanimous consensus and recommendation of the city, the mayor and the alderman of the city of Savannah that Rob Hernandez, Deputy County Administrator for Broward County, Florida, be appointed as Savannah City Manager.
The 8-month search for a new city manager coming to a close August 11th. Rob Hernandez comes in with a vast knowledge of city and county leadership experience. The mayor and alderman waiting the necessary 2 weeks and beyond to officially approve the appointment.
Well, I think it's a great fit because Savannah is the perfectly sized city, a city of 145,000, which means it's very manageable. It's not too large, but yet then again, it's not too small. There are a lot of things that we can do relatively quickly to reignite that passion, that relationship that exists between the citizens of a city and the city itself. And so we need to reignite that passion again. And we're going to look for those things to again, help individuals connect with the city that they live in.
Someone that has an understanding of port communities, which we are. He is a veteran, which is important to us because we are a huge military community. Someone who understands county government in that he had to interact with 31 cities in Broward County. We have a significantly less number, but he understood the importance of working together with governments. And someone has a track record of really being able to get things done.
That I don't believe you can lead from sitting behind a desk. You've got to get up, you've got to be out there in the community, you've got to observe what's going on. And so great leadership is what gets mediocre football teams to the Super Bowl. Great leadership is what got us to the moon. Just to be recognized in the region or recognized across the country as a great place to live, as an institution that provides outstanding public service, because we're in the service delivery business. That to me is the Super Bowl. Just to be known for exceeding expectations always. I like to use that phrase, and as you know, if we get there, I think that's tantamount to winning the Super Bowl.
But what I expect is someone to go on the field and give us 100% every single day. Give us his best effort, his best ingenuity to look at our existing playbook, and if it doesn't work, throw some new plays in there. So it's a unique time in our city's history, and I'm excited about the prospect that he brings.
Hernandez is expected to be at City Hall and ready to get to work by mid-October.
The emphasis of this project is obviously safety and improve the mobility for pedestrians and vehicle traffic.
Major changes to Bay Street, a 30-day experiment, September 11th through October 9th. No more metered parking on Savannah's busiest downtown street. Travel lanes widened to standard width. That's more than 2 feet wider than the previous width. The bright barrels mark the medians. It's all an attempt to temporarily create what will be the norm in years to come.
I think right now it's a very ugly road, because it's a continuous concrete area that really it's a blocking between the historic area where you have nice squares, and all of a sudden you have a 4-lane road and you go to River Street.
The other major impact will be on trucks. In fact, they will be prohibited from using Bay Street from 7 p.m. until 5 a.m. during the last 2 weeks of that period. It all starts September 25th. Not only on Bay Street, it's common knowledge that finding a parking space on the street downtown really isn't an easy task. Savannah City Council had contracted Nelson Nygaard Consultants to put together a comprehensive plan to help ease and streamline all of downtown parking.
Right now, our numbers show that even in the downtown core, at the peak of the peak, there's 7,000 empty spaces somewhere. Doesn't mean everybody can access them.
You really think about it, 7,000, that is amazing, you know, because I can't find one sometimes, so it really is a big deal. But it is true that it's where they're located, understanding how to get there, and then thinking about how far am I really walking.
As Savannah grows, so does its need for more accommodations. Not necessarily more, but better structure, planning, and information flow.
You've got, as a result of this study, an inordinate amount of data that's easy to use and manipulate and monitor over time. A full-fledged inventory mapped on-street and off-street parking for the entire city.
Now it's time to use it, from on-street parking to city garages to shuttle services to bike plans. It's an all-encompassing system where all the parts need to efficiently complement each other.
As a whole, I like it, and I like the direction we're heading in with it. There are some specifics that I think we need to address a bit more carefully. One of them is any residential area that's near a hotel is already having complications with hotel parking.
There's no silver bullet, there's no do this one thing and everything will be solved. It's really about thinking about your parking as a system and as part of a larger system of mobility.
A lot of that will depend on technology, a major component in this. Again, it's all about the flow of information.
All the meters will be credit card ready. There'll be a mobile payment system so that you can download an app and pay from your phone. You remove all the friction for park. No searching for quarters, no trying to figure out how it works. You go in, you pay for what you want, you stay as long as you want.
CAT is also working on a smartphone app, or working on a grant for a smartphone app now. And if they get that, between what we're doing and what they're going to do, and the plan is to integrate those, if we can make that happen, you'll have one app that will allow you to pay from a distance your parking meter, if you need to do that, or for garage parking. It may even be able to tell you where there's availability in a garage.
This study does not stop those adjustments. We're going to be making those adjustments in perpetuity, because downtown is this living organism that changes over time.
City staff is still working on the details. Once complete, they'll submit to council for full approval. Next up, we'll turn our attention to trucks. Food trucks, that is. They'll be hitting the streets in Savannah. Plus, the booming business of film and video continues to head in our direction, and we are adapting to accommodate Hollywood and beyond. And we're cooking up some good eats in this month's SBAC Spotlight. That and so much more next on City Span.
Every day, I can make a difference. Building relationships with kids, helping others, and making my community safer. I enjoy being a part of this team. It was an easy transition from the military. I joined the Army for my country. I became a police officer for my family. My daughter looks up to me. That will put a smile on any dad's face. If you're ready to make a difference, step forward.
And welcome back to City Span. Remember, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search City of Savannah. City Council was busy in August. The new alcohol ordinance passed, and food trucks are coming to our city streets and parks. Following the food truck trend, Savannah falls in line with Charleston, Augusta, and Jacksonville. But truckies beware, plenty of Georgia state laws already in place.
We need people to make sure that they have a commissary kitchen, that they have that base of operations, that where they locate will be within 200 feet of bathrooms. Folks aren't thinking about that necessarily. We want to push that out, make sure that people are aware of some of these other restrictions. Of course, there's also public health issues, so you have to have a certificate of approval from the Public Health Department.
Rules and regulations the city will enforce for the estimated 15 to 25 trucks expected to hit the streets. All interested parties will enter into a lottery with a chance to secure the hot spots for the remainder of the year.
Our first lottery will be October 1st, and so whoever wins the lottery for a particular area will be in that area or have access to be in that area for the last 3 months of 2016. January, we'll start another lottery, and we'll do it subsequently for the rest of 2017.
2017 is when the new alcohol ordinance will take effect. Part of it will allow for alcohol catering. An example would be for salons or spas to offer a complimentary beer or glass of wine.
In addition to that, I think there'll be a lot of folks that'll be excited to hear that we'll now allow 18 to 20-year-olds into establishments to hear live music. And that's something that a lot of the citizenry had been calling for, indicating that there was really nothing for those 18 to 20-year-olds to do. So this is going to provide them an opportunity to be exposed to live music and that type of entertainment that they had not been able to be exposed to previously.
As the city rolls out the full language of each ordinance, information, education, and preparation is the main focus.
We will also be working with those owners to transition from their current license to the new license. It'll be a little bit of a new licensing format, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up with an alcohol license that's going to tell you what you can do and what you can't do with your alcohol.
We want to make sure that food truck operators, potential food truck operators, check the state laws, check the Public Health Department laws to make sure they understand before they make an investment in a truck and start wanting to sell their food on the streets. We are going to work with business owners to make sure that this is an efficient process and a business-friendly process.
The film industry is booming, to say the least, and we are adapting. Recently, the City of Savannah's film office and the Savannah Economic Development Authority kind of merged, forming a much stronger, cohesive unit.
What is this diabolical thing?
The film industry is taking off in Savannah. So CETA will be better suited to market it.
Which has been the driving force for national production companies coming to the Southeast Coast. It's a partnership which will strengthen the overall process.
So the city staff that was with the city will now become employees of CETA. They will be the marketing arm. They will deal with the film industry, both movies, TV, whatever may come down the pipe for us.
At the end of the day, we are trying to promote the area as a film destination, film work, entertainment production.
That'll be not just in Savannah, but at Tybee, unincorporated Chatham County, and surrounding counties, which makes that organization really better suited for that.
You live on the beach? That is awesome!
But Savannah has been acting as that regional office, and so if you think about that, and then you take the county's resources, our resources, and combine and put all that together, you really have something special. You hire more staff, you've got more marketing material, you've got more, more location specialists that can service the scouting agents and things of that nature.
CETA reported $58 million in direct revenue in Chatham County for 2015. That's more than the previous 5 years combined, a serious boost to our economy.
Huge growing industry, and these are high-paying jobs that involve so many different roles. When you think about film, I guess you're thinking about actors and cameras, and well, there's carpenters, there's caterers, there's truck drivers, there's a variety of electricians, all these job opportunities that, like I say, are good paying jobs.
The newly formed Film Savannah department at CETA will be bigger and stronger with the combination of assets, but the enforcing of the details within city limits stays put.
We still have full control over what happens on our public right-of-ways and in our parks. So if a production wants to film in Forsyth Park, the film office at CETA will be in touch with us. We'll be working with them very closely, and we will be issuing those permits. So we will have control of what can be done, what can't be done, when you can do it, when you can't do it.
Folks at the city continue to do what they do best, and that's protecting the residents and the businesses.
I think this is a case of saying, hey, well, this is a more efficient way to do it. Let's move it over there, and they'll do that part, and we'll do this part. But it's still a team effort.
The city continues upgrade plans to recreational facilities. The latest to get a facelift is Optimist Field in Daffin Park. The artificial turf has been laid and sewn in and set for football, soccer, and lacrosse. It is funded by SPLOST money and provides some much needed relief for the ever-growing rec, middle school, and high school programs.
The real important thing is it's going to give us a playing surface that we can play on in just about any kind of weather that we want to. It'll allow us to play more games. In some instances, it'll allow us to have even more practices. It's a great first step to hopefully that we'll be improving some more of our facilities. Not necessarily just with artificial surface, but just improving all of our facilities overall.
Surfacing at Scarborough Park is underway. The two turf fields cost just under $1.4 million. Social media is beginning the buzz for WW Law Preservation Week. Wesley Wallace Law was Savannah's top civil rights leader. Our own Saja Hours brings us all the details on this historic event.
The City of Savannah will celebrate WW Law Preservation Week from September 19th to September 23rd. This week will recognize the accomplishments and contributions of WW Law in the area of historic preservation and is part of the year-long celebration of the 50th anniversary of Savannah's National Historic Landmark District. We spoke with Luciana Spraker, Director of the Research Library and Municipal Archives, about the contributions Law made to Savannah's historic preservation movement.
I think what's important is he really helped raise awareness about the importance of African American history, architecture, preservation in Savannah, and really wanted to incorporate that into the larger story and history of Savannah. He wanted to tell the African American story, but also make sure people knew it was part of the larger Savannah story. It really wasn't a separate story.
The activities during WW Law Preservation Week are being coordinated by the city's Research Library and Archives Department in partnership with Historic Savannah Foundation. The events are free and open to the public and will include a moderated panel discussion, Freedom Trail tour, walking tour of Beach Institute neighborhood, and an online exhibit. To learn more about WW Law Preservation Week and the events you can participate in, visit savannahga.gov/WW-Law. Tangled in Savannah's web, I'm Saja Hours.
Thank you very much, Saja. Remember, you can check out all those details, like Saja said, on our website. Our tour of Savannah's National Historic Districts continues. Ellen Harris takes us to Thomas Square.
The catalyst that really brought the residents and the development to this area was the streetcar.
Some call it Thomas Square. That's shortened, of course. It's the Thomas Square Streetcar Historic District, hitting the National Register 2 decades ago. But this area dates back to General James Oglethorpe's original plan, 1733, as farm lots.
If you were in town, you had a tithing lot, then you had a garden plot, then you had a farm lot. The biggest influence that I see that's a holdover from early development is the period of 1860, when we had those 2 years of having 12 squares. This was one of them. 2 years later, the city changed their plan and did away with the squares.
However, Thomas Square remained, and for Ms. Mobley, this was an important sentimental area for many Savannians.
There were many proposals made around that fountain. I learned how to roller skate in this park. My mother learned how to roller skate in this park. And then when the Board of Education changed it to Richard Arnold, a middle school, what we call a middle school today, they took everything out. The fountain is scattered into several of the downtown squares.
Mobley and a few others were determined and successful in bringing back the centerpiece for this neighborhood, a neighborhood with a few brick streets still left, refurbished buildings, and a deep-rooted history.
And one of the underrated and touted is the history of the African Americans in Savannah. There are very few people that know that St. Mary's home, which now doesn't exist, was originally on Havisham Street. Or they don't know about Mother Matilda Beasley, who donated the land. The Georgia Infirmary is a fantastic contributing factor to the history of Savannah.
Thomas Square Streetcar Historic District is a perfect mix of residential, commercial, and public buildings. It's home to Sacred Heart Church, built in 1902, the Little Sisters of the Poor Convent, started in 1894, and the Lawton Memorial, 1898. From Anderson on the north, south to Victory Drive, East Broad Street, west to Montgomery, lies an important piece of Savannah's history and future.
Proximity to downtown is proximity to neighborhood businesses. It just has a good neighborhood feel.
Thank you very much, Ellen. We appreciate it. Time for one more break. We're going to take you inside this kitchen for some mouth-watering delights. But straight ahead, we're at your service. A new feature coming to you on your source for news and information, SGTV's City Span.
You alright, dude? Do you need to see a doctor? I don't have a doctor. My mom just told me never to get hurt.
There are many reasons why health coverage is important.
For sports physicals and braces.
Because I need glasses.
In case I get really, really sick.
Most kids ages 0 to 19 are eligible for Medicaid or Peach Care. Call 311 and get enrolled today.
Our health, what matters most.
And welcome back to City Span. I'm Ken Slatz. Here at the City of Savannah, we are committed to customer service. That was reinforced in 2014 with the creation of the Customer Service Division. Since then, Margaret Williams and her staff have worked to further shift the organizational culture to customer service excellence. Our new regular feature introduces you to some of our top performers, always ready to be at your service.
One of the main goals of the city is providing excellent service to the customers, our residents, our citizens, and our tourists. We're here today to talk with Aisley Jackson, the business liaison for the Development Services Office, making sure that our customers who come to get business approvals and business licenses get all of the support and services they need.
Prior to my position, our department, you had the zoning staff that would do the zoning portion of a business approval or business review, and then our building team, our plans examiner, would also review the life safety component of that review. And so when they put my position together, it was to put some continuity to that, so that on the zoning staff side and also on the building review side, someone was, aware of the whole process and can carry a customer, through that process and make it smoother for them to get their approvals. How that matters to the customers is it gives them a point of contact, myself, a liaison, to carry them through the entire process, even parts of that process that may not be directly an area that I'm involved with. I can imagine the public that doesn't do this on a daily basis, definitely not understanding or knowing that process or being aware of that. So we've made a lot of effort to make the public aware as possible of the business approval process through some exposure, presentations at different groups throughout the community, some material that we put together, also some updates on the city's website. Every day when I'm talking to customers, I let them know that my job is to assist them in getting their business up and going. And so part of my job is educating them on the process and assisting them to help them get where they're looking to go. A lot of times there are some obstacles and barriers that's there, but I let them know that there are obstacles or barriers that you can get around or get over or bust through. But there's a process that we have to go through in order to do that. And so relating to my job is basically to assist them, in getting what they looking to accomplish done.
Thanks, Aisley. You do a great job serving the citizens and residents and business owners in this community. That's what we're here for. City of Savannah is always at your service.
Our partnership also continues with the crew at Bank on Savannah, an initiative of Step Up Savannah, bringing you tips to help you make the most of your hard-earned money. Here's Richard Reeve.
We all go through times when our finances are tighter than others.
Having emergency savings can help you weather rough financial times. 56% of people in the United States don't have a rainy day fund that would cover 3 months of expenses. Emergency savings are set aside for job loss, medical or dental emergency, unplanned expenses like car or home repairs. Financial experts agree that an emergency savings account should have at least 6 to 12 months worth of expenses. Trying to build up a large amount like that may seem impossible, but the key is to set a goal and start now. Having $100 set aside is better than nothing. Start by setting aside a small amount, such as $5 or $10 each paycheck, then increase the amount until you've reached your goal. Automate it with payroll deduction and then leave it alone. Think about putting some of your next tax refund into your emergency fund. Save up your spare change and add it to your account. Create a savings competition with a friend or a family member to help each other to work towards your goal. Be sure to keep your emergency savings in an account that you can access when you need it, but not so easy that you end up spending it on non-emergency items. Following these tips can help you make it when money is tight. Until next time, I'm Richard Reeve, and you can bank on this.
Are you ready for some mouth-watering moussaka, baklava, or spanakopita? We'll reach into Savannah's authentic Greek pastry and meal vault for this month's feature from the Small Business Assistance Corps.
Yaya's Kitchen and Marketplace was started in 2014. They offer authentic Greek dishes and desserts. When the owners decided to expand, they visited the Small Business Resource Center down on Liberty Street for help. Let's check them out.
And working, volunteering at Greek Festival, one of the biggest things you hear a lot was, oh, we wait once a year to go to Greek Festival and eat Greek foods and yet buy Greek pastries and things like that. So my kids were encouraging, because when this place came available, so that's what you need to go and do. Do Greek Festival year round. So we took the initial steps, we reconfigured the place, changed it, and then we were reaching out to the different brokerages and things like that to bring these products in, and then that's kind of how it all originally started, is to have a marketplace where people can actually have Greek Festival year-round, but also not have to worry about just going to restaurants and getting foods. Well, the nice thing with SBAC, at first, you know, we've been doing all this ourselves. And the folks down there were amazing. You know, they basically said, tell us what you need. And then some of the projections that they wanted, they put us in touch with Becky, and she was amazing. She was able to take our whole business plan, look it over, look at what things we need to venture into as a small business moving forward. And then from there, we met back with the other side, the financial side of it, and they were able to put us a nice package together. And within a month or so, we were able to get some additional funding, which helped us expand the second phase of our business and expand our marketplace. Be prepared for the long haul, and, you know, treat your employees well. Those are two things I've learned, and I try to apply them here, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Staffy utilized the resources at the Small Business Assistance Corporation when he wanted to expand his business, and it's only gotten bigger and better. Check him out the next time you're at 48th and Habersham. I'm Leandria Michael, and this is your SBAC Small Business Spotlight.
If that doesn't make you hungry, I don't know what will. Thank you very much, Leandria. We appreciate it. That is going to do it for this edition of City Span. Now, don't forget, for the latest news and information about the City of Savannah, keep it tuned to SGTV. Visit our website, savannahga.gov, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for making Savannah your home.